Very good morning, dear students. In the previous class, in the chapter Towns, Traders and Craftsmen, we saw how in the medieval period how these certain towns were developed into pilgrimages centers like Benares, Puri, Mathura, and Allahabad, and even some places were turned out into major trade routes, that is Lahore, Surat, and Mirzapur. And even during the medieval period, that is during the Mughal and the Muhammad bin Tughlaq, there were certain documents which tells about the growth of towns, traders, and craftsmen. So, as these traders and craftsmen have been developed, there the towns has been classified into several different towns based on the pilgrimages, development of the temples, that particular area, and the port and commercial activities, and even the foreign towns. There are several classification or the types of urban centers have been classified, and trade has been carried out through inland and foreign trade. So in today's class, you will be seeing the types of urban centers and the meaning of inland and foreign trade. So students, we have the types of urban centers like administrative centers, temple towns and the pilgrimage centers, commercial towns, port towns, crafts towns, and founded towns. So let us see one by one the meaning of all these types of urban centers. So administrative centers. The meaning of administrative centers is nothing but such as, for example, Delhi, Agra, and Aurangabad developed as administrative centers. So, as the day-to-day supervision took place from the capital, the other centers will also be get developed. But the capital city, which are framed for the administration centers, it is going to become the head of other regions, and from there they are going to supervise all other places, rest of the places. So these centers were famous as capital towns that functioned as the seats of kings or emperors. That is, for post 20 to 30 regions will be there. Out of that, one region will be considered as the head of that particular region in order to carry out all the activities like supervision and what are the other problems they are facing, as their trade is being carried out easy way or not, or how the people is being carrying out their trade activities. All these information will be discussed in the capital, that is head of the centers, that is administrative centers. The administrative centers are established for the carrying out all the rules and to frame the rules and regulations, policies, and in order to carry out, to take the decisions of all the places where the trade is being carried out. And even the royal army was also stationed in the fort of such towns. During the Akbar's time, three different cities were developed as their capital, like Agra, Fatehpur Sikri, and Lahore. In general, we can say that administrative centers are the centers which are established for carrying out all the main activities by taking into consideration of the other regions as well. It will be the head in order to carry out any type of activity. Next, temple towns or pilgrimage centers. Next comes the temple towns and the pilgrimage centers. Temple towns. Generally, temple towns is a town which was situated after the development of the temples in the particular region. So when the town is covered or built with the temple, next there starts with the having the priest to worship, and the started having the shopkeepers, things which are needed for the temples. So day by day that particular place is going to be developed. So temple towns are started when the rulers gave the grants or the amount of the grant of land and even the money or the amount to build the temples to show their religious devotion. And the pilgrimage centers are those centers where the place where which are worshipped it is a sacred place where the people used to visit and worship their respective religious god, and they conduct all the religious practices, perform their religious rituals practices. So the temple towns soon developed into significant important centers for the multiple activities like social, economic, cultural, and religious activities. And even there developed gradually the priests, artisans, workers, as I said, the things which are needed for the temple, that is garland mark makers, traders, and many other peoples also started associating with them. So when the temples were being built, there started the establishment of the pilgrimage centers, and these centers gradually started urbanizing as the people start visiting there, and they need certain place to settle over there. They is converted into townships as well. They like Vrindavan, Mathura, Somnath, Ajmer, and Tirupati became the important temple towns or the pilgrimage centers where the large number of temples are situated, and especially they are known for their places. These places are known for the temples, so these are called the temple towns or the pilgrimage centers. Next, coming to the commercial towns. Commercial towns are those towns which are basically carried out the business activities or the trade activities through trade routes. So Shershah Suri built a grand trunk road to encourage the trade and commerce within the country. Like him, so many rulers also started building the sarais and rest houses along the roadsides. So when the trade activity is being carried out, they in order to reach the far places, they in between they need to take some rest. So for this, they started building some rest houses or the guest houses, which gradually developed into commercial towns like Mathura and Baina in Rajasthan, and became the location along with the famous trade routes. Next, port towns. Port towns is nothing but a town which is developed. A port town is a town by the sea or on a river. So where the ship loads and unloads the goods or the passengers. It is called port towns. So India had great contacts with other countries, which leads to the carrying out the foreign trade as well. So overseas trade activity with East Asia, West Asia, China, Europe, and the towns like Surat, Brauch, Kambe, Calicut, Cochin, and Machilipatnam are the famous port towns where the trade has been or the exchange of goods and services have been taken over there. So students, next come the craft towns. Different craft centers developed into famous Craft towns. So basically, the artisans of Indians are very well versed with the weavers, metal workers, and even the carpet makers, shoe makers, many other crafts. So basically, craft is nothing but having excellence in doing the work with the help of a hand. So India was worldwide. So India was worldwide famous for its cotton textile. So these cotton clothes were produced in India. The Panchalas or Vishwakarma communities consist of goldsmiths, bronzesmiths, blacksmiths, masons, and carpenters. All these played important role in construction of palaces, buildings, tanks, and reservoirs. These craftsmen, without these craftsmen, we would have not enabled us to develop the craft or the architecture or the designs in India. So persons of Bidar were famous for their inlay work in copper and silver known as the Bidri eye work. And towns like Benares, present-day Varanasi, and Kanchipuram developed due to their popularity of textiles. Next, founded towns. These are the towns which are came into existence because of their found was some rulers or powerful people like kings or the queens. Prior to their development, once they found is a place. Some towns which are came into existence, as I said, because of the which are discovered by the some person. After once they have found out that person, so they started developing it by having some shops, some temples, and basic needs of the people will be provided over there. Later it is going to be developed day by day. People start settling over there, having their day-to-day activities, and they started agriculturing, settling over there, and they start with certain economical activities. They turn into urban centers as well later. So for example, they say the capital township of Fatehpur Sikri was founded by Akbar in honor of the Sufi saint Salim Chishti. So Shahjahanabad in Delhi was founded by Mughal Emperor Shahjahan. These are the example for the founded towns. So students, we shall see the meaning of inland trade. Inland trade is nothing but which are the trade which are situated in the interior part of a country or the region, or it is a domestic trade activity. The goods and services will be exchanged between the states or within the country, and the trade which is carried on within a country we call it as inland trade. Whereas foreign trade, exchange of goods and services across the international borders or territories, or when the trade is taken place happens between the two or more countries. Between the two countries we say it is a foreign trade. So students, in this class what we learned is different meanings of the towns, various types of towns, and meaning of inland and foreign trade. Later in the next class we will be studying about inland and foreign trade associations, how they are used to carry out, and the craft technology, how it's developed. All this we are going to study in the next class. So please dear students, please refer the video and go through the textbooks, and thank you.